Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a huge question that so many aspiring entrepreneurs get stuck on. What kind of business should you actually build?
So, you're thinking about starting a business, right? You've got that spark, that idea. But where do you even begin? It can feel a little foggy. Well, it turns out the type of business you choose is a massive deal, maybe even more important than the idea itself.
Exactly. Before you dive into the nitty-gritty of your product or service, you got to take a step back. You have to decide what kind of journey you're signing up for. I mean, are we talking world domination here, or are you just trying to change your own world?
All right, here's what we've got on tap. We're going to break down the three main business paths: startups, lifestyle businesses, and the good old side hustle. Then we'll put it all together to help you figure out where you fit in.
Okay, so let's get into it. To really understand these options, we need a way to compare them, like a common framework to see how they stack up against each other. So here they are: the startup, the lifestyle business, and the side business. And listen, these aren't just slightly different flavors of the same thing. They have totally different rule books, different goals. Heck, they have different reasons for existing in the first place. And to help us navigate all this, we're going to use 4 key yardsticks. We'll look at the kind of idea you need, how much you have to worry about competition, the time you'll have to sink into it, and of course, the big one, the risk versus the potential reward. Think of this as our guide for the journey.
All right, first up is the big one, the one that gets all the headlines, the startup. You know the vibe. Silicon Valley, unicorns, world-changing ambitions. This is that path.
And this quote from Paul Graham, the founder of Y Combinator, absolutely nails it. A startup is designed to grow fast. That's the key word, designed. It's not about what the business is today, it's about what it's built to become. The goal is just explosive growth. There's no ceiling.
So what does that actually mean for you? Well, you need a massive idea, something that sounds a little crazy even. You're going to be obsessed with your competition. You'll be working way more than a 9-to-5, and you've got to be okay with that whole high-risk, high-reward roller coaster. It's really a path for someone who wants to shake things up in a big way.
And speaking of risk, get this, 95%. That's the failure rate for new startups. It's a huge number. So yeah, the payoff could be insane, but you have to be ready for the very real possibility that it could all go to zero. It's a true all-or-nothing game.
Okay, let's do a complete 180 now and talk about the lifestyle business. This one operates from a totally different playbook than a startup.
You know, a lot of us live our lives under something called economic duress. It's a fancy way of saying we make decisions, like what job to take, mostly because we need the paycheck. It's this constant pressure that kind of steers our whole life.
Well, a lifestyle business is designed to do one thing: get rid of that pressure. The goal here isn't to grow into a giant corporation. Nope. The goal is to create enough automated income to pay for the life you want to live. It's about freedom from that financial stress. With this kind of business, you don't need some world-changing idea. You're not trying to take over an industry. You're just looking for your own little slice of it. Now, it does take a ton of work to set it all up, but the whole point is to eventually get it running with minimal effort from you. The risk is way lower, and the profit, well, the profit is whatever you need it to be to fund your ideal lifestyle.
If you've ever read The 4-Hour Workweek, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The idea is to build what Tim Ferriss calls a muse, a little business that generates cash flow automatically. It's there to support your life, not consume it. This is perfect for someone who loves building systems, who wants to be an architect of their own life.
Okay, that brings us to our final path. And for a lot of people, this is the most accessible one, the easiest way to get started. Let's talk about the side business.
And really, this comparison says it all. A startup wants to change the world. A side business? It just wants to sell something you can make. It's that simple. It's all about practical, direct income, nothing more, nothing less.
The absolute best thing about a side business is how simple it is. Your idea can literally just be a hobby you're good at. You don't really have to stress about competition because you're not trying to build an empire. You can do it on weekends. The risk is super low. It's just a great way to make some extra cash from something you love. Or to just, test the waters of being an entrepreneur.
All right, we've looked at all 3 paths. So now let's bring them all together, put them side by side so you can really see the differences and figure out which one just clicks for you.
This chart pretty much sums it all up, right? You can see the trade-offs so clearly. The more money you could potentially make, the higher everything else goes. The risk, the time, the stress. A startup is the ultimate high-stakes bet. A side business is a safe way to add to your income. And the lifestyle business, it's that sweet spot right in the middle.
And look, this is probably the most important thing to remember. There is no best path here. One isn't better than the others. The right path is the one that fits you, your goals, how much risk you can handle, and what you actually want your life to look like. So now you have the framework. Before you jump into your next big idea, just ask yourself, what am I really after? Am I trying to build the next big thing? Am I trying to design a life of freedom? Or am I just looking for a way to share my passion and make a little extra money? Answering that question, that's your real first step.